Hi. Okay. So I wanted to make one extra episode because someone recently asked me what my beliefs about religion are, and I realized that I haven't really talked about it directly. So I think I should bring that up because I feel some people have different perceptions of which religion I am, based on what I'm born into, what my name is, stuff like that, which really annoys me. So I wrote down a few questions that um, okay, the first question I'd like to answer is, do I believe? That all of these are so complicated. I might have to make two episodes, but okay, do I believe? I do think there is a superior force, or I don't know. In my own words, I think it would be um, there may be uh, a god. I mean, there probably is a god, but then you have to have the next question would be then, if he did create everything, who created the creator? So you have the question of who created the creator, because there has to be a beginning and end to everything. So I'm trying to summarize this in my own words as much as possible. I don't know why people love to um, have perceptions of me and try to use me as their tool for their own agenda, or they know best for me. Because I've gotten a few messages about what people perceive, and it's very inaccurate. Um, well, I was born a Muslim, but I've never followed the religion. Um, Hardly ever kept fast. I used to try to just because my friends used to, but don't know how to pray really. It's just if my friends go, I used to just go sit there. Didn't really pray or anything. Um, but yeah, I do feel a personal relationship. Like I think it's a personal spiritual thing that you have. Like it's like whenever you need, so like when you're uncertain or you have fear about a result or the future, that's when you start thinking about, oh God, like I hope I get this, or you pray for something, or you say thank God, like that kind of gratefulness is there. But um, I don't, I've never been religious in a Muslim state because Muslims have five pillars that they follow. But I have been to Mecca once, and there is a big unity when they pray and all that. But to me, it's a personal spiritual relationship that uh, to God, and it doesn't really follow organized religion. It doesn't follow, like I don't follow that. So, which religion do I really find myself thinking about sometimes is, well, what happened was I'm a product of a lot of things. I'm a product of whatever I learned or heard from people while I was growing up. So if I heard someone say something about the religion, saying that you should do this because you're supposed to do this, or this is good, that's bad, I picked all those things up as I grew up from different religions, movies, TV, like you name it, and I just picked up all this information, and I almost cherry picked the ones I like, and that's what made me who I am today. It's basically a bunch of good movies with good moral stories, good morals, characters, and good movies, and whatever my parents used to maybe say. Some of them are inaccurate. I found out later on that some of the things that my parents said that about religion, or what's good or bad, or what's the process, and some of it wasn't even accurate according to the Bible or the Quran. So That's basically what I picked up, and I started believing like superstition. Because I remember my dad used to give me some superstitious stuff like don't whistle here or there, like stuff like that. And you just pick it up and you start believing it, and then you can't differentiate the superstition of seeing a black cat from a superstition of something religious. And I noticed that only recently, that I can't really tell the difference. But I do believe that there is a higher being and stuff like that. I also like Egyptian Ra, the sun god. I really like that idea. I don't know why. I just think that sunlight energy, without it, it's just darkness. It's a secret for everything. Um, I'm also interested in Buddhism, just for personal self healing and suffering and just life in general, how tough it can be on a soul. And it just teaches you of what you can control in life and what you can't, and how to let go of it. So I like Buddhism for that. But when I think about why are we even here on Earth, how did we exist, then I try to think about Hinduism because it's more mystical and it has more of a description of like a dream world and creation. And there are different gods. There's not one god in Hinduism. And Buddhism teaches that Buddhism is basically life on Earth. It's not after Earth. After you die, it's not about that. It's about while you're here, how do you deal with the pain and suffering that you might encounter. But as far as existence and cosmic and all that, I think Hinduism has a lot to do with that. Um, yeah, so I'm still studying. Like I don't know. I still pick up things from religions. I try to do a little bit of research here and there about Hinduism and stuff, but kind of got into a dead end. So um, another thing that I heard someone say on TV the other day is appreciation of nature and how humans can appreciate nature and this beautiful sunset and that beauty and do every. Does that mean that there's a God and we're supposed to? Well, I never thought of it that complexly, but I do appreciate. There are moments I appreciate. There are moments that are dull, and I just curse in my mind. But I really do try to take the time to step back and not just see the sunset and be, oh yeah, it's a sunset, but I have bigger problems. Like I do try to appreciate the sunset. Maybe make an ironic comment like, "What a nice day to have such a bad situation" or something like that. But yeah, so that kind of stuff, like I do appreciate, and yeah, it always amazes me. Always different animals, different species, nature itself is just amazing, especially sunsets and all that. Like I think that's an appreciation of God, and that's a personal relationship that you have. Like whether you have good luck or bad luck or whatever, that's a personal thing you have with him. And it has to always be optimistic. You can't start thinking that everything's against you because you still have it better than someone else on earth. So you're never that bad. And well, I came up with a quick system of beliefs that I follow, that I try to follow. It's so difficult that I have not been able to do it, and it's like a practice. It's not a perfect principle. Like you have to try your best to get close to it, but you can't quite reach it ever because you're just human. It's three rules. Number one, no fear. You can't have any fear. Number two, no ego. Number three, no attachments. Living things or non-living things. And those three, if you really think about it, are so difficult to try to get close to. And it's just like no fear can be mean a lot of things. And you have to think about how you just ended up existing, how you were born and all that, and just think no fear, no ego, no attachment. It's something that I try to remember every now and then whenever I get into a situation where I find myself in an emotional state or if I'm not happy with how things are going. Anyway, that's all for this episode.